So friends, can we talk about Donald Trump's latest desperate and dangerous posts, as well as the continued deafening silence from the Department of Justice? You know, friends, it's time to act because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, remember when Donald Trump expressly advocated, encouraged, and directed violence on January 6th, 2021? Remember how he told his supporters, albeit falsely, that their vote had been stolen from them, their election was rigged, their president was being unlawfully taken from them. He told them that you can't take back your country with weakness, you must show strength. He told them that they needed to go to the Capitol, that they needed to fight like hell or they won't have a country anymore. And he then directed them to march on the Capitol and stop the steal. You know, the fact that Donald Trump was encouraging imminent violence that day could not be clearer. And in fact, violence ensued at the Capitol. Violence as a means to unlawfully and unconstitutionally retain the power of the presidency. And now, Donald Trump is at it again. First, in something he posted on his third-rate social media platform, and then in something he reposted. Let's start with what he posted recently on Truth Social. The Democrat DAs, attorney generals, and prosecutors are very dangerous to the well-being of our country. Many are deranged and only interested in pleasing the fake news media and the Democrat Party. Fair and true justice means nothing in our country anymore. I am being hit by so many Democrat prosecutors, local, state, and federal, all to keep me from running, and all because I am leading by so much. The great people of our country aren't going to take it. Make America great again. And friends, if the message wasn't clear enough, he then reposted something that one of his followers, one of his supporters, posted. And here is a short article done by Raw Story about Donald Trump's recent repost. Headline: Trump promotes message from locked and loaded supporter who vows to physically fight for him. And that article begins, former President Donald Trump is once again promoting violent rhetoric. Indeed, I would add he's promoting actual violence. On his Truth Social platform on Wednesday, the former president promoted a post from a supporter who vowed to physically fight for him to be returned to power in 2024. Quote, "It's not going to happen again." The supporter warned of Trump being denied the presidency. Quote, "People my age and older will physically fight for him this time. What do we got to lose? I'll donate the rest of my time here on this planet to do it. And I know many, many others who feel the same. We are locked and loaded." Of course, as hundreds of Capitol rioters currently sitting in prison could attest, there is much to be lost by physically fighting on behalf of the former president. You know, friends, if there's any good news surrounding this story, and I don't know that there's much, I guess it would be that 18 hours after Donald Trump posted that message, his latest call to violence, the post had less than 2,000 reposts, less than 8,000 likes. So, you know, it looks like Donald Trump doesn't really have all that many followers who are actually willing to fight for him. But still, have we learned nothing about addressing Donald Trump's calls to violence? And by we, I guess I need to be more specific. Has the Department of Justice learned nothing? Because DOJ's silence is deafening. They have more than enough evidence to indict Donald Trump right now. Why do I say that? Well, you may recall that there's a federal judge in California, David Carter, who ruled after some litigation involving one of Donald Trump's corrupt lawyers, one of his co-conspirators, John Eastman. Judge Carter ruled that there's enough evidence to conclude Donald Trump committed 2 federal felonies in connection with the insurrection: obstructing an official proceeding, the certification of Joe Biden's win, and a conspiracy to commit offenses against or defraud the United States. And friends, here's the kicker. Judge Carter found that those 2 felonies were committed by Donald Trump by an evidentiary standard called a preponderance of the evidence, more likely than not. 51% of the evidence. And friends, that is a higher evidentiary hurdle or burden to satisfy than the evidentiary requirement to indict somebody for a crime. That's just probable cause. That is well below preponderance of the evidence. So yes, according to a federal judge, and based on all of the evidence that we know, even just that evidence that's been publicly reported, there's more than enough evidence for the Department of Justice to indict Donald Trump right now. I mean, should the Department of Justice wait until Donald Trump actually launches his second attack? You know, call me crazy, but now feels like a really good time for some accountability for Donald Trump's last attack on our democracy. You know, now feels like a really good time for just a little bit of justice. Because justice matters. And friends, as always, please stay safe, please stay tuned, and I look forward to talking with you all again soon.